quality, honey. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome to my channel. My name is Helena, my daughter is Layla. She's just about 5 months old. She's laying down here playing around a little bit, so if you hear her, that's my girl. Today we're going to be doing the mom tag. Alright, so if you see me looking down at my phone, I'm just reading the questions off this mom tag. So without further ado, let's get into it. Question number 1. How old were you when you had your first child? Oh yeah, I know. I was 19 years old when I gave birth to Layla. I'm still 19 years old. I will be 20 October 1st. And this brand new beautiful camera is my present. Question number 2. What was the hardest thing about being pregnant for 9 months? The hardest thing about being pregnant for 9 months for me was just having nobody else really going through the same thing as me at the time. I obviously didn't have any friends that were pregnant and were, doing the same things that I was doing. So I met a few people online and on the Peanut app and stuff like that, but I didn't really have anyone around that was going through the same thing as me. Maybe the second time around I'll have a buddy, who knows, we'll see. But it is what it is. I can't really complain because my pregnancy was fairly easy from start to finish. I didn't have any morning sickness, anything like that, no issues. It was pretty smooth sailing. So hopefully the next one's like that, knock on wood. Question number 3, can you think of any good things you enjoyed during those 9 months? I did enjoy going to my doctor's appointments. I lived for doctor's appointments and seeing her on the ultrasound. And we had quite a few ultrasounds. We did 2 extra ultrasounds that we paid for just to see her in the 4D. We went around 32 weeks to see her in 4D, and she had her hands covering her face and her face buried in my placenta. So we couldn't really see much, but we still got to see some smushy face. Right, girlie? Question number 4. In your opinion, were all the things you heard about childbirth accurate or way off? So, of course, everyone tells you horror stories, and it seems like a lot of people try to scare you. If you guys watched my labor and delivery vlog, then you will know that I had a pretty smooth delivery. There was nothing really that went wrong other than the cord was wrapped around her neck, but they took care of that immediately. There was no panic or anything like that. So if you guys want to watch that video, I will link it down below and you guys can go watch that. It totally depends on what you choose to do. So if you choose to have an epidural, or you choose to not have an epidural, that is your decision. But I chose to have an epidural, and because of that, my labor and delivery was super smooth. Can't really complain. There was hardly any pain. So I'm gonna have to say that the stories people told me before were off. I'm not gonna say way off, but off. Number 5, would you have handled childbirth differently if you could redo it? So I would redo it, and I've said that a lot. I've said that I would redo it a million times over, and I would, but not to change anything. I just thought it was such an amazing experience, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty nice. Yeah. So if I could go back and redo it, I would redo it, but I would do everything the same way. There's nothing really I can change. Any issues that happened during the delivery process were out of my hands. So as for me, I wouldn't change anything. Everything would be exactly the way that it happened. Question number 6. What would be your advice for someone who's about to have a baby? So my advice for someone who's about to have a baby would be to definitely get as much help as you can. I remember my mom was here right after I delivered her, cleaning up my whole entire house. So when we got home, the house was completely clean. She stocked our fridge, she got us all new groceries, and that was really amazing. So we didn't have to worry about anything like that, which is the last thing that you want to have to worry about when you're bringing home a new baby. So definitely try and get something lined up where someone can clean up a little bit before you get home, or stock up your fridge or something like that would be super duper helpful. And it was for me, especially breastfeeding in the beginning. I was just snacking in the middle of the night. I had a yellow cake with chocolate icing that Mark's mom brought over, and I went through that cake in like 3 nights. That was my midnight snack. So a piece of cake and some milk and you'll be good. One more other thing that I would recommend, and this is, you do whatever you want, you know, this is totally preference, but I think at least trying breastfeeding is great. If you try it, you don't like it, by all means, you don't have to do it anymore. If you try it and it doesn't work, then obviously you don't have to do it anymore. Formula is here for a reason, and formula is amazing. But I do think that everyone should at least give it a try. Question number 7, what has been the hardest thing about being a mom? I think that the hardest thing about being a mom for me is just how overwhelming everything can get when it seems like nothing's really working out. The baby's crying, things aren't working, something goes wrong, everything seems like it's going wrong. And I really struggle in those moments, as I'm sure a lot of other moms and people do. But I just kind of lose my mind. If too much is going on, too much crying and sounds and all that stuff, I just kind of go insane in my brain. And that has got to be the hardest thing about being a mom, is just how crazy you can go so quickly. I feel like everything just kind of catches up at once and I just like lose my mind, which is something that I have to work on, but it's probably the hardest thing for me that I definitely need to work on. I don't think that's, you know, not normal. I think sometimes stuff happens and you just lose it for a little bit, and I don't think that is too bad. I hope not. The other hardest thing about being a mom for me so far was also the other thing that was hardest for me was those first 2 weeks after I gave birth was super hard. My hormones were insane. I definitely had the baby blues. I didn't have postpartum depression. I know that because it didn't last longer than those 2 weeks, but those first 2 weeks were really hard. I struggled a lot. The lack of sleep gets to you. Just, I think being a first-time mom and having a baby just like come into your life, which obviously you're anticipating for 9 months, having a baby just come into your life pretty much, I don't know how to explain it, but it's a lot. It's a lot, especially when you're trying to breastfeed and trying to get a hold of that. My milk took 4 or 5 days to come in, so it took a while, and I was struggling with feeding her, and just a lot's going on, and you have to worry about every little thing, and it's hard. So the first 2 weeks was definitely super hard. Luckily, we're past that. We're on a roll, we're doing good, so that is no longer an issue, but definitely that was a huge struggle for me so far. Question number 8 is what has been the most rewarding thing about being a mom? I gotta say, the most rewarding thing about being a mom has to be the milestones and just seeing them, yeah, that's it. Just seeing them do something for the first time is insane and so fun to watch. I remember her first smile, I just cried. I just couldn't handle it. It was so sweet and so cute and such a special moment that I couldn't help but cry. But I cry at every milestone. I cried when she first laughed and did all that. But the first smile is just amazing. Question number 9, what was the most surprising thing that you discovered about being a mom? The most surprising thing about being a mom for me is just how happy she makes me. She makes me so happy when she's doing all these cute things. And of course you anticipate your baby making you happy, of course, and every little thing they do makes you smile, of course. I don't think that you truly understand how happy they make you until they're here. And now that she's here, if I'm having like a hard time or a hard day or anything like that, and she just smiles or she laughs or she does something like that, like just something little like that can just turn things around and make you feel a little bit better. It takes the anxiety off of things. It makes things less Hi, how are you? Hi. Thank you. She's right here.
Oh my goodness.
Say hi, Layla. When you're having a tough day or you're anxious or everything feels like it's falling apart, just something as little as a little smile from your baby can just turn everything around. And it sounds so cliche, but it's so true. And just the anxiety just like comes off when you see your kid happy. It's true. I don't know how to explain it. I guess it's just a mom thing. Question number 10, what is the best memory you have involving your child? So, like I already said, her first smile was huge because that's that first little bit of personality that you're seeing peeking through. And before they smile, they're only looking around, straight face, not doing much. But when they do start smiling, then that personality and that little baby snuggles and smiles comes through, and there's really nothing like it. Her smile never gets old. No matter how many times she smiles, it always makes me smile. So that was definitely a big milestone for us, and definitely my best memory with my baby. Question number 11 is, what was the most exciting milestone? Which is funny because I just answered, what is the best memory you have involving your child? Pretty much the same thing. Number 10 and 11 are both the same answer, her first smile. On to the next. Question number 12, what is the worst thing your child has ever done? And that's a toughie because she's only about 5 months old, so it's not like she's some little toddler running around just tearing stuff up. She's not really doing that yet, so I can't complain too much about this little girl. But if I had to complain, if I just had to complain, I would say the worst thing, which is something she can't control, because she's a baby, she can't control what happens. She drools like crazy, and we go through so many bibs a day that she can't keep an outfit. Even with the bibs, it gets soaked underneath. So that has got to be the worst thing, but it's not her fault. So, you know, I don't know. I'm just picking something that I don't absolutely love. Question number 13 is, what habit did you wish your child didn't have? The drool, but that's not a habit. Again, she's a baby, so she doesn't really have habits yet, and I can't really complain about my baby yet. I can't complain about her yet. So the worst habit would have to be drooling. Number 14, what habit of theirs makes you most proud? So I don't love the word habit, as you can tell, for a 5-month-old, but makes me most proud. It's just how goofy and giggly she is. I think it's so cute. I love when she kicks. She gets so excited and she just like kicks like crazy. Since she started doing that and just getting so excited, that is definitely my favorite thing to see, because who doesn't love an excited baby? Question number 15, do you share any similarities with your child, both physical and personality? So I thought she looked a lot like me when she was a little bit younger. I still think she looks like me. Some people think she looks nothing like me. But based off of my baby pictures, there definitely are similarities when I put them next to each other. And with Mark's too. A lot of people say that she looks exactly like Mark. I hear that a lot more than I hear about me. So yeah, but as for personality, I don't know yet. We're gonna have to see. Question number 16, where would you like your child to be in 10 years? In 10 years? What are you gonna be in? Like fourth or fifth grade, right? Right? Well, I'm hoping when she's 10 years old that she'll be a sweet little girl, and she'll be nice, and she'll be filled with good manners. Yeah, she's smiling at me. You're gonna have good manners? And be a nice girlie? You wanna get up? Wanna get up and see everybody? So yeah, that's where I'd like to see my baby in 10 years. In 10 years, she will be 10 years old, 10 years and, in 5 months. So, what more can you hope for a 10-year-old other than to be doing what they're supposed to be doing, listening, good manners, all that stuff. Question number 17. What is something that having a child has taught you? Yeah, that's gotta be it. That's pretty much it. On to the next question. No, I'm kidding. Something that having a child has taught me is just how they come first. They come first for everything, and it's just the truth. That's just what happens. And when they're babies, especially when they're babies, then you kind of take the back burner a little bit, and the baby comes first because they pretty much need your attention 24/7. And that's just how it goes. So I think something that everybody learns when they have a child is just how important they are, and they're the number one thing in your life. So I can't say that's something that I didn't necessarily know before I had a child. It is something that I knew. Like I said before, it's something you learn once you have a child. There's just some things that you can't really totally understand until you're a mom, or you're a parent, or whatever. So yeah, I have to say that she taught me that she is number one. Question number 18. Did you imagine that you'd be a mom at the age that you became a mom? No, I did not think I would be a mom at the age of 19, but we're out here doing it, and it's going pretty well, and we're having a good time, and my baby's a happy girl, so it seems like everything's going pretty good so far. I can't really complain, but we're happy, and this is just, everything happens for a reason, and you just kind of gotta roll with it. This is my tiny best friend. Yeah, and I get to take care of my little cute little best friend all the time. So I can't really complain too much. Question number 19. Describe your child in a single sentence. A chunky, little funky, little chunky, little monkey. That's how I would describe her. Chunky, monkey, funky, spunky. Yeah, that's pretty much about it. And my little ray of sunshine, my little smiley, little chunky, little happy little baby girl. Question number 20, our final question, is how have you changed as a person since becoming a mom? So once you become a mom, like I said before, you change, you just change. I used to do all types of things that I like to do. I used to sit in my bathroom and do my makeup. Oh, here we go with the pukes. Hang on, technical difficulties. I used to sit in my bathroom every day, and I used to do my makeup for hours, and I would take it off and I'd do it again, and I'd take it off and I'd do it again, and that was what I was into. I like to do makeup. I have a ton of makeup to prove it that I don't even really use anymore, but just moral of the story is that you just change. Life just changes once you have a baby, and you change, and the things that you used to do and spend your time on change, and that's just the truth, and that's just the reality. I used to love to do my makeup every day, and I used to spend so much time doing my makeup every day. I used to sleep in pretty late. I used to do all these different kinds of things, and now I don't do that anymore. I still do my makeup sometimes. I'm wearing makeup right now, but all I'm wearing is some mascara, a little bit of highlight, like a little bit of cream contour, just for a little bronzing, and that's pretty much it. It takes me like 3 minutes, and that's all I got, so I don't know. I have a lot of makeup to do something with. I have no idea what I'm gonna do with it. I have so many eyeshadow palettes and things that I don't know if I'm ever gonna open again, so that's motherhood. Right, Layla? Yeah. Because this is my number one little chunky. Yes. So motherhood changes you, and that's just the truth. And if you're not ready for a big life change in pretty much every aspect of your life, then I'd wait. So that pretty much wraps up the video for today. That is all the questions from the mom tag. I hope that you guys liked this video. If you do, then like it down below. Subscribe to our channel, and we will see you in the next one. Bye guys! Say bye-bye. Say bye-bye. That means bye-bye.